Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to welcome you, all of you, to today's webinar on career planning and development, setting goals and creating a roadmap for success. My name is Aman, and I'm program lead at Bejobbed. So, at Bejobbed, our mission is to help MBA students seamlessly transition into the corporate world. We go beyond placements to support your journey, your first job, and all the way to build you for the leadership roles. We are committed to being your partner in growth. Bejobbed is building a community where MBA students can get valuable insights and mentorship directly from corporate leaders with decade of experience. This program is not just about starting your career, but about shaping your long-term success. And I'm thrilled to have two remarkable industry leaders join us today to share their experiences and wisdom. Our first esteemed speaker is Mr. Srivatsan, an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad and currently the Executive Vice President Sales at JSW Paints. With over 35 years of expertise in the paints and coating industry, including leadership roles at Asian Paints, Mr. Srivatsan has been instrumental in driving business growth and shaping sales strategies. An ICF certified coach, he is deeply passionate about mentoring and leadership development. His extensive experience in business strategy, sales management, and coaching has made him a respected figure in the industry, known for building high performing teams and mentoring future leaders. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Our second esteemed speaker is Mr. Vasu T.S. He's also an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad and currently serving as an associate director in sales development at Perfetti Venmel. With over 12 years of invaluable experience, Mr. Vasu has held pivotal roles across India, contributing significantly to strategic growth in FMCG companies. His notable achievements include expanding market dominance in East and Northeast India, establishing PVMI as a leading FMCG company in Bhutan, and implementing innovative route to market strategies that resulted in a remarkable 60% increase in direct coverage. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, man. Good evening, all. Good evening, Srivats.
Good evening. Good evening. Happy
Yeah,
to be here.
yeah. So let me quickly walk you through the flow of today's session. We will dive into a panel discussion where I'll be asking them some key questions about career planning, goal setting, and success strategies. Our speakers will be sharing their valuable insights and experiences to guide you on your journey. And towards the end, we will open door to for the questions. So feel free to note down any you might have during the discussion, and we will address them the later. So shall we start, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So first question is, what are the key personality attributes young MBA students should develop to grow in their professional world and create a better future?
Yeah, Vasu, I'll go first on this, and then you can pitch in terms of the gaps that I will leave. First of all, students, I'm very happy to be with all of you today. And budding aspiring leaders is what I would call you all. Okay, and I think it's a great job that is being done by B Job. To give you all this kind of perspectives because it's very important. There is one is in terms of education, the second is the practical world. Okay, and one in today's world, one really needs to get prepared for how you actually come into the challenging, workplace. Okay, and uh, I'm from an old school of thought, so I will be happy if people have at least one paper and pen to make a few notes because what happens is that we don't remember anything and at the end of the session. So if you want this session to be very productive, at least make a little notes, some kind of bullet points which you can actually see. One way of retaining what you read, but retaining what you actually things is that make a note of some of the things which you think are connecting with you, and post this meeting just spend about 10 minutes with yourself going through these points. Believe me, trust me, you will never forget those again, because this is one of the best ways to actually take through a conversation with anybody. Okay. Now coming back to the point that Aman was raising in terms of what are the key attributes, personality attributes that young MBA students should work on developing. Okay. As I said that you guys will be now are actually in the education mode. Now you're learning. Okay, you got into a very good institute where obviously the quality of education is going to be extremely good, and that this particular course is going to help you in terms of moving into a job which is going to be very challenging. Okay, so now I have got about six areas which I thought that one should be mindful of in terms of wanting to develop. Okay, the first thing is that is the ability to work with a wide variety of people. Now, see, there is a difference between how you look at people in your life and how you look at people in a workplace. Because in life, obviously, like you'll be working with, you'll be living with some people. Okay, some people you don't like. Okay, you don't connect with them. I mean, that's how life goes on, right? But in workplace, what happens is you will invariably be working in an organization. You will be working in a team. There is a certain expert area that you have, but for your overall objective to like fructify, you need to be connecting with others so that you can actually like take their strengths also. So there is a need for us to like build the ability to work with a wide variety of people. Second is the important thing that comes in, that there will be a lot of things that will come onto our plate. Okay, so it is very important for us to understand time management and ability to prioritize, which becomes a very important thing. Okay, number fourth is understanding the digital impact on business. Today, if you look at on a daily basis, something is happening on the technology, and the way of working of yesterday is completely turned upside down. Okay, and that is something which one needs to be tuned in. Okay, if you have to be really like be successful here. The fifth area is the ability to build, sustain, and expand a network of people. Now, we will get into a little bit more when we actually discuss on this. Why this networking is important. This networking is not only important for us to get work or to get something out of them. The networking is more important because there are various people working on very different kinds of things. Okay, and when you speak, there may be some solutions that you may get. Where by talking to them of what they are doing in their own roles, in their own job area. This networking, it opens up our mind to do a lot of things. So networking becomes very important. Being in touch with different types of people becomes very important. And the last one, obviously, like it's a complex world, right? And all of us are required, because there is a complexity. Okay, otherwise, if the world is easy, then you don't need to study MBA, or you don't need to study processes. So we are doing all this. We are learning framework. We are trying to understand what are the root causes for this, because we will be given those kind of problems which will be complex, and we should build the ability to develop those complex problems. So in a nutshell, it is ability to work with wide variety of people, time management, ability to prioritize, understanding the digital impact on business, ability to build, sustain, and expand a network of people, ability to solve complex problems. Over to you, Vasu.
Absolutely well summed up. I think there is nothing really to add. And when you have all this along with the right attitude, I'm sure it's going to be the best of benefits that you would get. So let's not get into a competitive world thinking that everything has to be successful. Very, very simple. All these points that I know Shivatsu said, take it in the right spirit, right attitude, and tell yourself that if you do something which is different, or you want to be innovative and you succeed, then you lead. And when you fail, you learn. So therefore, you teach others. So therefore, have these six key points that you must remember at all times. With the right attitude, I'm sure the journey is going to be very happy. Yeah, Aman. Aman, I think the admin, Aman is on mute. Maybe if Aman is on participation mode, somebody has to unmute from the placement team. Placement team, Swati, somebody. If Aman is a participant, then he has to be unmuted. In the meanwhile, Aman can pose the question, or if you have a presentation or something question coming up. Fortunately for both me and Stuart, we are on, I mean, we are not unmuted. We anyway don't want to keep quiet.
Hey, Aman is back. Aman is
Hello.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So let's dive into the second question. While studying for their MBA, how students can discover their passion and purpose in life, and how does early discovery help in choosing the right career path for the students?
You can take this, Vasu. I'll pitch in after you.
Okay. Yeah, all of us at all point of time know about passion and something which is coming from the heart. There is always this conflict between head and the heart, but then ultimately all of us, give a lot more to our passion, which is from the heart, well supported by the head, which means if my passion is to be an independent contributor, let's say in coding something, I would much rather do it in an independent contributing role. But if someone like, what Stevenson said about himself, has been in sales for over 3.5 decades. I have been in sales. And in sales, you can't be an independent contributor, especially if you are in the field role. If you are in the field role, typically you have to be with the hundreds and hundreds of customers, company people, you work with other functions and whatnot. Therefore, it is important that you are a better team person. You cannot be an independent contributor. So when you understand what is the passion that I have and identify, importantly, you will have a lot of your internship program coming up. First and foremost, your summer internship would come. First, even before I go there, I would like to tell you that you people are one of the best, obviously, from the Premier Institute. And to be in the Premier Institute, I'm sure all of you have had the best of preparation, best of execution, therefore, where you are. So, when you are in an institution like where you are, like IIM Trichy, which means you are one of the most successful because you have come here. You are working in a premier business school. Here, the opportunity to learn many new things are going to be in plenty, in which you will go through typically a 2 months summer internship program. That's one aspect of it. But right through the 2 years program, you will come across various sessions, various, your professor is telling one another, which you will be able to assimilate and then relate it to your personality, and then tell that I would like to be in a sales function or a marketing function or typically in a shop floor. I would like to be, along with my engineering and MBA, I still would like to be on the shop floor so that I am a better person on the, in the factory premises, or I can be a very good HR. So organization comprises of these are the core functions, right? Sales and marketing is there. Obviously, you also have the entire manufacturing operations. Somebody would say, no, I'm very much interested in logistics because supply chain is a very, very complex function. So understand this even within that marketing. I keep telling, today marketing is evolving very, very rapidly, whether it is a digital marketing, the content development within marketing, whether I am on TVC campaign I want to run, whether I'm going for celebrity, or am I advertising in IPL, or am I advertising in any other events, like is it that Diwali or the festive season starting somewhere around the Dashara and then go on till about January, the Mahashankranti Pongal types. What is it that within that marketing I want to do it? Is it content development? Is it digital marketing? Or is it anything else within the marketing? Or if you want to be in supply chain, is it that in supply chain I'm interested in planning procurement, or am I interested in logistics part of it? So please be clear that it's an opportunity for you, because you all have come from a background of just from where you are in the institute, as in a college, whether you are an engineer, whether you are from a normal bachelor degree, and now you have come to a premier institute. From here on, it is business. The management school will tell you where to go broadly. But you should identify, because when you pursue your passion, I'm sure all of you have read very many stories about pursuing passion. I'm sure the Three Idiots and the equivalent of the similar movies, etc. You see, it's just not movie. Obviously, there is a passion in me, and that passion is to deliver this or do this and whatnot. And example, I'll give the person on screen, Mr. Srivatsa himself, is a salesperson. But mind you, he also believes in training and development of people. Therefore, he joined the coaching federation, which means if I want to coach somebody, I want to learn, because coaching is something close to my heart. Selling is a profession, but coaching probably along with selling is more closer to my heart, and hence he has done that. And mind you, that he would have done it well into 25 years of work experience. After 25 years of work experience, what do you want to do? I know everything types. No, because my mind says, my heart says that I want to be in sales. I come with people, but at the same time, I want to do training, coaching, and whatnot, mentoring. Therefore, he did that. So please take these as examples that why you must pursue your passion, identify it, and you have long time to identify. Honestly, I would request how that identifying your passion as you are getting into an organization. I'm sure Shivatsa can explain it much better, but why it is important is what I was talking. Over to you, Shivat.
Thanks, Vasu. I think you beautifully put it. I just want all of you to get this in. See, one of the reasons why Vasu and I are here. See, we're not preaching anything. Please don't take it as preaching, because we just want to share our experiences and some of the things that we discovered quite late in our life. We thought that if you can get it early, you will benefit even more. Okay. Now we have evolved over a period of time, and saying that whatever you're talking today, whatever we are talking today, it's not that we got it when we joined the corporate world. Over a period of 25 years we have learned this. Now you just imagine that you are now learning all. I mean, you're at least getting a perspective of this right in the beginning, so you will be far more successful than us actually. Okay, that's the intent behind sharing these stories. Okay, now let me tell you one thing. So I am a certified Harrison assessment. This is one of the toughest one. It's a world-renowned coaching framework actually. Okay, and I did it over 1.5 months. Okay, one of the things that Harrison assessment had taught me was that it's a very simple kind of a thing that I'm just trying to put it in a very simple words so that you can understand. What it says is that suppose you do something that you love. Okay, suppose you're doing something that you really love. Okay, what happens is that you will do more of it. I'm doing something that I love, so I like to do more of it, so I will do more of it. When I do more of it, okay, in the process I will try and see what else is happening in this area. Okay, what new developments are happening in this area, and I will get deeper into that because I love what I do. So I keep improving on it. Okay, because I'm reading, because I'm understanding what's happening in this area, I keep on improving on it. Imagine this particular area happens to be a part of your work. Then you get excellent feedback because you will excel because this is an area, this is the area that you love. You're also doing a lot of deep work, you're improving, and in every appraisal you will actually get a big sabashi and say that was excellent. On the other hand, if you look at you flip it on the other hand, that you actually take up something which you don't really love. Okay, now when you don't love something but you take it up as a part of your job. Okay, this is your job and you have to do it, but then you don't love it. You will always have this inertia or the excuse of saying why you're not doing something. Okay, ye kyun nahi hua? So you will say it was I was caught up, too many things, I'm not able to do. Now because you don't love and because you're not getting into it, you are not reading up, you are not developing yourself, you are not improving on that. So finally, when it comes to a year end, when somebody is assessing your performance, because if that happens to be a part of your job, then you will get feedback saying that was areas of improvement and all that. And once you get that, you will go deeper into the hating of that, and that's how life happens. So I just want to give you this very simple and very beautifully put by Vasu in terms of why you need to get into what you're passionate about is that right now I just want all of you to start believing that it's not about that when I speak to some people, they say this is my job, this is what gets me salary, but this is my passion. Now, please don't get into that kind of a thing, because what happens is it will become painful. Waking up in the morning, going to the office is going to be the most painful thing, because you're thinking of doing something which is not your real love, and you'll be waiting for that 5:30 or 6 o'clock to happen so that you can then pursue your passion. Okay, you will not be successful in your life. Okay, I will give you one live example of my own daughter, because it will make more sense, because I talk rather than some story of Tendulkar or Dravid. I'll talk about my own daughter. And my younger daughter, about 3 years back, she was actually attempting to do chartered accountancy, CA. Okay, she completed her foundation, and all that she had to do was to write the preliminary and the final, and then finally she would have become a chartered accountant. She was an extremely good student. She was actually studying about 14 to 16 hours, and I'm sure that she would have made it. But one fine morning, she came to me and she said that I don't think this is my calling. I'm somehow hating this. I'm not able to, like, wake up in the morning and go through this. And I asked her, what do you want to do? It was, she said that I don't know what I want to do, but I don't want to do CA. That is, I am clear. So I said, okay, fine. And then she took about 2, 3 months. Okay, she kept this aside. Okay, she said, I'm not going to do CA, gone. But anyway, at that time she was pursuing, say, BCom. So I mean, she was in the second year of BCom. She started studying for CA earlier. So she was continuing her BCom, and then after 3 months, she figured out that she said English literature seems to be my calling. Okay, so after BCom, she went on to do MA in literature in Christ College, Bangalore, and then life throughout her life she always had this in her that she wanted to become an English teacher. Okay, now she did her MA literature. Okay, and then through the campus interview, she got into a school. Right now, she is actually teaching in Vellore. Okay, now this is a fascinating story. I would say I really admire her because my elder daughter, she has done her MBA from NM and she is working for a startup. And my younger daughter was very clear. She said that, Papa, your elder daughter will learn a lot of money. I know because she's done MBA and she's going to the corporate world. My salary is going to be only 21,000 rupees per month because I'm a school teacher, but she's quite happy about it. Now, this is where I want to just share this with you because, the clarity that, this is what I love, this is what give me, but, she's got a future. Now she's talking about wanting to do a PhD and then go on to become an English professor. I'm sure that money will come as she goes along, but she will do extremely well because she's doing something that she likes. Now, coming down to the point, okay, I think she decided on her own. Okay, somehow something clicked. But for all of you, I just would like to give you a little framework. Okay, I believe that we need to have some kind of a process or how to do it so it becomes easy. How will you know what's your passion is? There are some people who are very lucky to get early in my life. Like Vasu was saying, I got it very early in my life because I figured out somewhere that sales is my line and I love doing it. Last 37 years I've been in sales, and I knew that once you get to a certain level in sales, and then it's about managing people, and that's where he was coming about. When I'm now today, I'm actually managing people. Okay, my core is sales, but then I manage more than 1,000 people actually, and they require mentoring, they require coaching, they require mental development to happen. I'm in this space now, so I'm loving what I'm doing. Sales is one part of it, but managing people is the bigger part of it actually now. Now, how do we get into this? First is self-reflection and exploration. You have enough time now after the college time. There is a need for you to look at in terms of what exactly do you love, which are the areas which are sounding for you. Keep looking at it, put your options in, and then zeroing on it. Okay, there are some techniques of self-assessment already available. Second is that you can ask your professor. In fact, the professor will be the biggest resource for you to help you to find a mentor. Okay, you can tell your professor that, boss, I want a mentor, or I want a guide. Can you name someone with whom I can have a conversation? Now, what happens in these kind of conversations is that a one-on-one conversation for 1 or 2 hours will that person, the mentor or the coach, will be skilled enough to actually unpeel you like a onion peel. No, they will unpeel you. They will just keep asking questions, and then you will keep answering, and you will start discovering the area of your love. Okay, and that is the beauty of this mentorship and coaching. The third one is that obviously, like when you do this, you have to do something which will align with your values. Okay, there are certain values. There are certain professions which you will not go. I mean, I don't want to name professions. I don't want to be judgmental, but I'm saying that there are certain professions I will not go because maybe it will not hit my values actually. Okay, I will say because I will not go there because I'll go there and become uncomfortable. These are certain set of areas where my values will align and I will be happy. There are certain companies, when you do a background check of some companies, no, even today, you will be able to clearly identify these are a set of companies I'll be able to work because of their how they go about doing work. These are set of companies which I will not be comfortable at all actually. Okay, now this is where this entire thing of networking, understanding, deeper understanding, and working with people, you will get to know. And the last is that importance of clarity of career path decisions. Having clarity, it aids in making informed and confident decisions. But overall, when you look at it, what you're doing in MBA, that framework is applicable everywhere. I mean, it's not that this is not going to be what you're learning now as a process. You can apply this anywhere. Okay, so do this process well, but look at in terms of self-reflection, look at in terms of getting some mentor to be clear in terms of what you love. Align your career very clearly to your values. Again, one of these will give you happiness, and you can go into that earlier model of Harrison that I was saying. You do more of what you love, you will excel, and there is no doubt about it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vasu and Mr. Vasant sir, for the thoughtful answer. And discovering passion early on truly provides the clarity needed to, make informed decisions about the career paths. And I'm sure this will inspire many students to, take more intentional approach to their career planning. Now, let's move on to the next important question. What are the challenges the young students face when transitioning to the corporate world? And how can they overcome these challenges?
After you, Vasu.
Okay, I think I keep saying that challenges are always nice, and challenges can also be called as an opportunity. I'm sure all of you, as students here currently where you are, would be very different from how you have been in your immediate last 3 to 5 years. If you have been doing your engineering for last 3 to 4 years, or your graduation, the undergraduation, if you have been doing, and prior to that, how your school environment was. So, from a school environment moving to a college and thereafter a professional setup like where you are currently, the management school, I'm sure you have already been through that journey. Similarly, when you get into a environment which is a corporate environment, what are the challenges you would face? uh, I can be very honest, brutally honest. You may have to face people like, Mr. Srivatsa or me, who would say, Arey, come on, yeah, I have 35 years of experience. What are you talking? No, that's not the way it is. Certainly, that's not the way it is. But you should respect the fact. Uh, Before I tell what are the challenges, I really, really want to tell you something which is very, very important that I may probably cover again in the later part of the presentation or discussion rather. But one thing to be remembered that you people who are young bring in a lot of newness to the thinking of the organization. That's why companies have a structured summer internship program. And thereafter, when people like you go and join the organization, you have the management training program. That's because you have so much and so much of newness in you, newer techniques, newer environment. You bring in a lot of newness to the whole system, and hence you are most important for any organization. So please believe in that. That's one, and that's not a challenge, that's an opportunity. So when you go there, obviously that environment is very different from your college where everyone is of your age, every except there is a difference between your professors and the admin team of people versus your co-students. But out there in the organization there is hierarchy. You join as somebody, then there are people above you, there are people lateral to you, there are people, skip level managers. Everyone is there. All of them come in with their own experience, their own knowledge, understanding of the company, the industry. So when you go there, especially in the initial stages, I would say anywhere between first 6 to 18 months, go with an appetite to learn every day. If your purpose is to learn and learn every day in your new environment, just as the way I'm sure all of you are in first year, it's a completely new environment for you. Mind you, it's a Saturday, and how often as a student on a Saturday you would have been keen to listen to speakers like us? That's a change because it's an opportunity that has come to you. It's not a challenge that at 6 o'clock on a Saturday evening it is better to be in a cinema theater, not necessarily, or a COTT, but listen to this. No, that's exactly what you people are doing. You are seeing it as an opportunity that I am here to learn. So when you go there into the organization with people of hierarchy, whether it is lateral, whether it is people below you, above you, you will learn from everyone. So go with the mindset that I am here to learn, because when you start with zero, mindset of zero, that I don't know the job, then everything that comes to you is like new. And therefore, I will ask questions. When in doubt, never hesitate to ask. If I am in doubt, I am not clear, please ask. So go with the mindset that every day over the next, from the time I'm placed into an organization, from there next 6 to 18 months, or every day are my new day. Every day I'm here to learn. Because you will learn, you will do better. If you assume, you may not do better. So don't assume, take it as an opportunity. Don't look at it as a challenge. Yes, it is a challenge because the environment is very different. For example, you can go on your sneakers and polo shirt or kind of dress that you like in the college. But once you are into an organization, say supposing you go to an hotel industry. I'm just giving an example. You go to an hotel industry, but typically everyone wears a nicely dressed blazer and whatnot. But if you are a software engineer, come the management student who would like to sit at the back end of the workstation and do something, you may not be required to be in that attire. It's as simple as example I'm giving you. So therefore, when you go there, the environment is very different from as a student. But key point, you are most important, and that's why companies come to premier institutes like you. You know the absolutely new things that's happening around. You go there to learn and deliver. So you are most important. Go with the mindset that I'm here to learn and deliver. Don't get worried about the experience of Vasu or Srivatsa here, that these people have got 30 years, 35 years. All of us are here to learn and then impart our own experience to you. Therefore, you as an individual today come and join becomes another Vasu or another Srivatsu in the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's how every company looks at that you are the future manager. Over to you, Srivatsa, if I missed something.
Very, very well said, and Vasu. And I know, and I like the point that you said on a Saturday evening, there are so many things to do, and there's so many things to do for us also. Actually, like Vasu and me. Okay, it's only those Saturday and Sunday that we get to do something. But there is a lot of love that we have in doing what we are doing, and I'm seeing about 167 people here. Including me and Vasu. All committed to a certain purpose. Okay, I think what has brought us all of us together is the purpose actually, and I think that's a big thing. Okay, now Vasu has actually covered the entire thing. I just want to summarize it. Okay, I mean I normally like to put it in certain 10 things or 7 things so that we remember those. Okay, and I put some effort in doing that. So like getting back into the thing, like Vasu mentioned about internship. Okay, now that is the next thing that you all will go through, and that is your window to the start of getting a little what I say is a preview or a trailer to a movie. Okay, for the movie of your life, you're going to get a trailer that 3 months. Okay, so and try and explore, try and get everything that you want to that is around you. In it's not that somebody is going to really assess you, but it's an experience. Okay, internship is always an experience. It'll give you a window to what is in store for you after your education. Okay, some of them you may be comfortable, some of them you may have to like go back and reflect and see like how will you be able to deal with it. But I'm going to give you about 10 things which I think by and large, Vasu has covered. I'm just going to put it very crisply in terms of, what are those 10 things. The first thing that you will notice, like what, Vasu said, is you will notice that I don't have any experience at all. Okay. Now, there are again two types of people here. There are some people who have had work experience and do MBA. For them, it will not be so much of a difference because they've already seen workspace. Okay, but for many of you who are going directly, from the college to a corporate world, you will find that there are many people who are already experienced. You may get overawed with what they are contributing in the meetings, what they are contributing with their experience in the projects. Okay, so that is something which you will notice, lack of experience, but nothing to get overawed. I think we need to be humble and accept that yes, we are inexperienced. Nothing wrong in accepting that I am inexperienced. I have come here to learn. I am new. Okay, I want to now explore. Second thing is this entire area of adapting to corporate culture. Okay, now as a student, boss, you can be like not shaved. Okay, nobody is going to say why you're not shaved. Okay, and you can put your tuck your shirt in, or you can tuck your shirt out. Nobody is going to ask you. When I go to JSW Paints where I work, I need to wear a tie. Okay, and whether I like it or not, I'm not getting into that, but that's a culture. I need to wear a tie. Okay, and when I go to some important meetings, I need to wear a blazer. Okay, so that's a corporate culture. Okay, and then there are expectations. Okay, expectations of delivery, expectations of what you're supposed to do. That's the culture change that you will see, and we need to be adapting to that. The third thing is the managing the workload. Okay, there will be a lot of things that will come onto the plate, and you need to see how you can manage your workload. Fourth thing that will come is dealing with difficult colleagues. I've just said difficult colleagues. It is all relative, but more important is that you need to be trying to see how you can build working relationship with everyone. Okay, sometimes you may not like the person, but then that's not how it works. And a team, you need to build a working relationship where you will contribute to that person and that person will contribute to you, and that's how the team will move forward. The fifth thing, which is going to be very important, we will suddenly be faced with too much of work. I've seen people like, suddenly they will start thinking, well, I had so much time to pursue my hobby. I used to play tennis, I used to play this cricket, and I used to listen to so much of music. Abhi main yahan pe aaya, kuch there is nothing. I'm not doing anything. So balancing work and personal life, how you will learn, at least you can learn from some of the people who are able to do it. How do you switch on and switch off? Because if you don't switch off, you will get burnt out. And the faster you learn this, it will be always better. I'll just share with you that, I was listening to one podcast today morning. Okay, Venkatesh Iyer. I'm sure that whoever is into cricket will know that Venkatesh Iyer got 23 crores in KKR. Okay, I mean, I'm sure that he himself would have been surprised. Nobody expected Venkatesh Iyer to get 23 crores. Now, I was listening to his podcast, and he was saying that, can you believe that, he has taken education as a switch off? Okay, and very surprising, the guy who was doing the podcast asking education. He said, now I'm doing PhD. Okay. And I was very surprised that, a guy who was playing IPL and earning crores of rupees, he says he was like, oh, if I don't, for me, the switch off is education, because see, there will be ups and downs in cricket. One day I will score a century, one day I will not score, one day I will be out of the team. But then if I don't have anything else to pursue, then I'll come back to the room and only be thinking about it. So he says that my switch off is education, and now I've taken PhD. In the next 3-4 years, I'll become a PhD. Now that's a switch off that he has chosen. Now we need to think about in terms of how and what we will do to get those switch off. Dealing with rejection is very important. Okay, in our world, many of us are privileged. I would say our parents have been taking care of us so well that I don't know how many of us have really faced rejections. Okay, and in today's world, parents really go out of the world to ensure that they give everything to their children. Now, rejection is something which I would want you all to reframe. It is not rejection, and like I'm telling you, like, I can talk about my own experience. We go into board meetings, for getting approvals. Okay, now I want to do something. I'm working on a project. I need approvals in terms of people. I need approval in terms of resources. There are many a times that I present about 10 things that I want. I may get one or two, or sometimes I may not get anything also. People may say that, boss, you have to manage with whatever you have and try and see, like, we can't, fund this now. Okay, so that is not a rejection. Okay, and second thing is that that's not something which is getting pointed at me. It's not that my thing is getting questioned. Number three is that should also not stop me from asking something the next time. So I just want to make you all clear. It's not rejection. It is that, there is a constraints that are always there. So don't look at it as a failure or a rejection. So our point of view has to be heard. We will continue to keep on, putting our point of view, which is healthy and which is important. Okay. So dealing with rejection is a very, very important thing. And you all need to take it into your perspective that it's not about rejection, it's a learning for me. Then the seventh point is communication. Now communication is very important. See, even today, I'm not very comfortable with the Zoom call because it's a one-way communication. Okay. Now what happens in communication is that unless I'm really clear in terms of what is it that I am saying, whether it is landing the exact way that what I'm meaning, it is not true communication actually. Okay. Ideally, a very good communicator will say a few things and check with the other person, have you got what I said? Can you share with me what you got? That's the best form of communication. Okay. So when that person shares what he got, then you will know whether you have really communicated, what you want to communicate. I would like all of you to practice in your college. When you say something, there is a certain intent or certain message that you want to communicate. Many a times, what happens is there are a lot of distractions the other person also may be going through. It happens at home also. Sometimes your wife, or in your case, your mother may be saying something, your mind is not there. After sometimes says, tell me what I told you. You may not be able to repeat because you have not been listening. You are there physically, but you are not there mentally. But that may be at home, on certain things. But then in certain things which are very important, if the other person doesn't get, then the work doesn't happen. So communication, don't take it as a speaking English. It's not speaking English, but it is like, is the other person able to really get what you are meaning to say? Otherwise, what happens is that things will not move forward. The eighth thing, which today it has become a big issue, people don't talk about it openly. Many people are talking about it. This is the entire thing of managing stress. Okay, and I mean, all of you should be little open. And my recommendation will be that you need to have someone, whether within the family or outside, who you can confide into. And it's extremely important that we openly share what's going on in our mind, in our heart, okay, with someone who we trust. Okay, see, there are a lot of things that we go through, in life, and I would want each of you to have at least one person who you trust and you can be the complete yourself. There are many people that we cannot be ourselves because you might say that how can I say it might affect me, or it may, like you may, some people may not want to say some of those things with their parents because there is an attachment to the parents and you don't want your mother or father to feel bad. Okay, you don't want to let them down, but you should have someone in your life with whom you can actually go. What happens is when you share it out, you will get your own answers. You don't need to, in fact, any advice from anyone. I've always seen that, I have one or two people with whom, I also go through ups and downs. I'm also a human being. Sometimes I get frustrated on certain things. I will know whom to call. I will share exactly. End of that call, he would have not said anything. Okay, but I'm happy that I shared with someone. Okay, please have someone with whom you can confide openly. Okay, where you know that that guy will not take advantage of your situation or that. So this is very important. And the other thing is that networking, that we said. Okay, networking comes from understanding what people are doing, what are the kind of different work that you're doing. This will give you a good opportunity when you're going into your internship. When you go into internship, that will be the best opportunity to actually speak to a lot of people. Okay, do that, because you will understand what they are doing, how they are doing, what has happened in their lives. Okay, I am now very deeply interested in podcasts now. Actually, I every day I do a morning walk for about an hour. I put on my earbuds and just choose which podcast I need to listen to. Interesting, people, successful people, how they have gone through, what are the different kinds of methods that they have used to come up in life. Okay, very interesting. And since it's a voice, you can just walk and then keep listening actually. Okay, then the other thing that I said is very important is have a mentor. Definitely have a mentor, I would suggest. The good thing about mentor, this entire thing is changing now. Today, if you look at an Olympic gold medalist or a tennis superstar, they actually carry their coaches along. They pay them and carry their coaches along. It's in India, somewhere down the line, over a period of time, right from when we were young, we all think that somebody requires tuition because he's not good at that. Okay, and that's how it is seen. No, I mean, I'm good at maths, so I don't require tuition for maths. Maybe, like I require tuition for some geography or physics where I don't know much. But the point is that these coaches, okay, if you identify them properly, they will actually take you to the next level, and that's very, very important. And you don't need to be shy about it. If you talk about Dinesh Karthik, I mean, if you listen to Dinesh Karthik in his podcast, he will say he was the first cricketer who used to hire his own coach. Matlab, he used to pay money. And if I were to take my example, I'll tell you this. I've been doing this for the last more than 10, 15 years now. I keep about 10% of my salary. Okay, 10% of my salary for going into some training program which I like. Okay, now I work in an organization. Organization HR will give certain plan they will have for development and all, but it is from their perspective that they will do. I mean, I may not get what I exactly want, but this 10% of my salary, okay, now over the last 15 years, my salary keeps increasing, okay, at different levels, and that 10% becomes bigger and bigger. But this 10% is my choice. I get it that the Harrison, this Harrison, assessment, it costed me about 50,000 rupees. Okay. Now I paid it out of my pocket. It's not the company which paid. Okay. So, this is a value addition that I'm doing for myself, reinvesting. Like in business, people take out money and reinvest. Now, this is another thing that we need to do. Continuously reinvesting on us is going to be very important. Okay. So finally, now coming down to the 10 things that I spoke of, if you want to write down, please write down. First is that you will get into the lack of experience. There's nothing wrong in accepting that I'm not experienced. Second is adapting to corporate culture. Okay, you have to understand, and as you go into the internship, you will find the difference, and that adaptation is important. Number three is managing the workload, very important. Number four is dealing with different colleagues. Okay, difficult colleagues, I'm putting it as. Fifth is balancing work and life. Okay, now this is very, very important. Please don't lose out on your hobbies. Please don't lose out on some things that you always love to do. Okay, try and find out, how you can do this. Okay, dealing with rejection is very important. Seven is communication. I mean, I think, as you evolve, you will communicate better. Look at people who are communicating better. Look at how people are, like, landing, say, feedbacks, how people are landing, those objections, how people are handling objections. And eight is that managing, stress, very important. Number nine is networking, very important. And then the 10th one is the most important, finding a mentor. If you have a mentor, a guide in your life, I think, see, in my life, I've had different mentors. It's not that one mentor will be there throughout your life. Different stages in your life, you will want to actually, partner with someone whom you think is the best in that field, so that, it will always help you. So these are 10 things that I think that, you can make a note and then observe, and then see how you're able to prepare yourself. If you're able to prepare yourself on these 10, slowly you will become comfortable, and then you will slowly see that, you're progressing well in terms of, how you're doing. This is what I want to share in terms of the challenges that you can be prepared for when you come over to a corporate life from a college, actually.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights and your advice on managing expectations and having mentors in life will definitely be helpful to the students here. And let's move to the next question, which is how do personal competencies compare to intellectual capabilities in determining success in the corporate world?
Okay. Shivatsa, would you like to take it?
No, you take, and then I'll.
Okay, fine. Personal competency. Repeat it. One is the personal competency, Aman, and versus
And intellectual capabilities.
intellectual capacity. Okay. I think the very statement that he made, intellectual capabilities. Again, it has to be looked at little more holistically, because individual capabilities or independent capabilities are one, but when you are putting it, as an individual, end of the day, cricket is a game of, or tennis is a game. I'm sorry, football is a game. But then individually, I need to perform, but collectively, it has to be. Similarly, you as an individual having your own competencies and whatnot, but has to manage or put up these in a larger perspective, which is the organization interest. Always remember that when you are going to work, when you are going to work in a professional environment, you have an individual objective, you have an individual goal for the year and whatnot, etc., for your own performance. But the larger purpose is to achieve organization's objective, which means at all point of time, competency, is one. My ability to use this and achieve the larger purpose, which is the business itself. When they say the business itself, it's the organization itself. Everyone in the system, whether the individual is from a sales organization or marketing, or within the marketing, a junior or a senior, or whether it is the CEO of the company, what is the larger purpose? The whole larger purpose of the organization is to achieve organization's objective. So how do I fit in mine to that larger purpose of the organization will determine. I may be very intellectually brilliant, it's fine, thank you, but is it fitting into my purpose? That has to be looked at. Then what is that purpose? One is self, which is to meet your set objectives, goals, or KRAs, as whatever they call it, but it will anyway be aligned with the organization's objective, which means what I do is aligned to a larger purpose, which is the organization's goal. So the competency that I exhibit, the behavioral exhibits that I display at work must just not make must just not be for reflecting what I do, but it must also be to reflect the larger purpose, which is the goal of the organization. That's the way it has to be looked at.
Yeah, I just want to add a few things. As always, Vasu is very good at articulating the entire core of the entire thing. Um, you know, when you talk about today personal competencies and intellectual capabilities, okay. Now, if you look at it, when I look at over a period of time, when I look at, say, I worked for a long time in Asian Paints, and now I'm in JSW. These are companies which go into like premier institutes to get their people for work, and all the managerial level are all like top management school students. So if you ask me, like, people come with intellectual capabilities. There is no doubt at all. Okay, and I just want you all to get this. Okay, now all of you are from IIM Trichy. I mean, if you're not intellectually good, you will never be there. Okay, all the students who are here. Okay, I mean, unless you're really good intellectually, you will not get through. In fact, you have now come through the huge amount of competition and come there. So there is no doubt about anybody's intellectual capability. Now, where people score and how the differentiation happens in any corporate world is personal competencies. Okay, intellectually, I'm just saying it is over a period of time it will still get this thing. Today, knowledge is available actually. Like it's not available in all these years, but knowledge is available today. Okay, even somebody who is not done from IIM will also be able to access to all this knowledge will be available. I mean, if the guy is like really interested in that subject, he will actually get into it and then get it. What I want you all to get it is what are some of the areas that you need to look at in terms of personal competencies. Okay, and this is something which is going to be very important, which is going to be it will build up upon your intellectual capabilities. Now, what are those things? I mean, I would like to again put it into 4 or 5 areas. Okay, in terms of developing yourself. What are these personal competencies that one is talking about? First is problem solving and decision making. Very important. Developing analytical skills to address challenges effectively. Okay, how well are you able to get to the root of the problem? Okay, so that how well are you able to look at in terms of options for decisions. The better your decisions will be when you have more options. Okay, when you say that this is the problem, you go to the root cause and then say ki, these are 4 5 options which could be solutions, and then you well into each of those options and then arrive at the best decision at that point in time. You won't know whether it will work or not, but the probability of your success will be by actually drawing up the options. Now this should become a habit. Anything that I do, I need to have at least 2 3 options. Okay, even tomorrow, I'm just giving you a little tip. Okay, when you're working in a corporate world, okay, normally what happens is people will go to their boss and say, this is the problem. Okay, he will also say, okay, this is the problem, so what to do? Okay, now if you don't go with solutions, he'll say, okay, let me think about it and come back to you. The decision will never come to you because maybe that may not be his priority. I've seen that, when you want to get decisions, the best way to go is you go and tell, obviously you will be reporting to someone. Okay, at any level, you'll be reporting to someone and you will require some decision. You say that this is the problem. I thought about it and I think that, there are 3 options. And as per me, it is option number 2, which will be the best to go. Now you are forcing a decision there. Okay. And then the discussion will be whether the option 2 is better or option 3 is better. But finally, at the end of half an hour, you got a decision. So this is very, very important. Second is communication and collaboration. Enhancing vertical and written communication skills for effective teamwork, extremely important. Number 3 is management and prioritization. We already spoke about what is prioritization. Fourth is critical thinking and innovation. I mean, one would want to look at a problem and give an innovative solution because you also have competition. When I go into the market today, there are 5 other paint companies which are there, okay, which are all world-class companies. Now, my solution to my customers should be something different from the others. Otherwise, why will he look at me as a solution? So it is going to be very important in terms of critical thinking and innovation. And then fifth one is emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Now, this is, I mean, I think all of you would have understood about EQ, building self-awareness to effectively manage oneself and interpersonal relationship is extremely important. Interpersonal relationship in any organization is going to be extremely important. Like Vasu has already shared, it is not that your own single contribution is going to matter. There is going to be a team. There is going to be a set of people. You will be intelligent, or you will be competent in one area. You will have to take the support of the others, and that is where that emotional quotient will come, and that is where that entire area of working well with people will come. So for personal competencies, 1, problem solving, decision making. 2 is communication, collaboration. 3, management and prioritization. 4 is critical thinking and innovation. 5 is emotional intelligence and self-awareness. These are going to be very important because I am saying that the intellectual capability is leveling off. Everybody has got the skill. Everybody can in terms of knowledge are all quite equipped, and you need to build these to bring about a difference actually. And awareness of this early in life is going to help you. As I said, that this is something which I learned over a period of time. I know if you can do it right from start, I mean, you're going to be far more successful.
Just to add to what Srivatsa said, you would have noticed him for every point. This is on communication. I just want to tell there are ways and means of communicating and ways and means of communicating, but a lot more structured. Every time he said, he puts it in points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. The previous one he said I have 10 points. The first one he said I have 5 points. I'm sure all of you have noticed, and he said if you people want to take a note of it, please take a note of it. He mentioned that as well. What does it mean is whatever you want to communicate, structure it. When you structure it, you know what is it that you want to say, how much is that point you weigh, so you don't miss it. He very nicely puts every time that I have 5 points to tell you within this, which means those 5 points are critical. That's a structured communication. When you are making the communication a lot more structured, he gave the example that your mother is telling something, but you are not listening. When you are on point one, you highlight that he very nicely said, no, point one is this, point two is this, point three is this, then I'll be able to relate it. So whatever that you have seen him now is another way of making your own communication very effective, even from this moment. When you talk to people, when you are in the class, when you are discussing a case study with your own members in the case study group, you say that I have 4 points to say, I have 5 points to say. Point number one, I think that's something over and above what we talked about, individual competency, or the very fact that all of you are there in the kind of institute that you are in. Set aside all this. Within that, what very nicely being told is, how do I bucket my communication, how do I structure my communication, nicely serializing, so that it keeps the interest of both the communicator and the communicatee well well attentive to the whole discussion. Thanks, Shashi, so for putting that.
Yeah, Vasu, so I just want to share with everyone that, see, all this is, we are not naturally like this, okay? I was also not naturally like this. I used to hear some extremely good communicators, okay? And I used to think, how are these people 1, 2, 3, 4? How do they say? Then I realized that it is practiced, was okay. Now I'll tell you, like, I had to prepare at least for this particular thing. I had to prepare for some 2, 3 hours. Okay.
Mm.
Now the thing is, there is an experience, right? Okay. I mean, I've spent about 37 years in this, in this field. There is experience, but then if all that experience has to come into a certain structure, I need to spend some time, my thoughts into, like, putting it into buckets, and then, so that people get it. Otherwise, you will be all over the place. At the end of the day, nobody will understand anything. So, what I'm trying to say here is that, I have learned it, so you can learn it. I have not been born with it. Okay. I've not been born with it. I've learned it. And why did I learn it? Because I realized that, if I don't do it like this, people don't understand what I'm trying to say. Because I will be saying point number one, and then I will say point number six, and then I will say point number three. And I'm not practiced. Uh, any communication that you want to do, first of all, be very clear. You need to practice it, boss. I'm sure that you guys would have seen MCs, right? Okay, and I'm telling you, like, sales conference. For me, it was an insight. About a few years back, it was late in the night. I went into the business, in the business room of one of the hotels. The next day morning, we were having a sales conference. Okay, and there I was seeing that MC practicing. Okay, can you believe if I tell you he has written down even the joke he's going to say? Even the joke is not, coming off his feet. I mean, we think that it is very spontaneously coming. He has put at 10:30, after this, I will tell this joke. He's written on the joke also. Okay. It all is practiced. Okay. And for me, that was a big insight actually. Today, I also do, when I go for a sales conference, I'll say, after these 2 or 3 things, I'm going to talk about my daughter. I've done this, and I'm just openly sharing that. But my daughter's example, I've written it down so that I don't forget actually. Okay. So it didn't come just like that. Okay. So it's all practiced. Okay. I'm just giving you a secret actually. It may sound it that, everything came very this, but there's a lot of preparation that happens. Okay. You need to be really prepared, because you know who the audience is, right? Now, I know who the audience is. I know that, all of you are students, and I need to actually, like, structure my entire thing. Now, I can't go and do this with my set of regional managers because they're all experienced. The same talk, I can't give them, because They have gone through like 10 years or 15 years of experience. So the audience, based on the audience, we need to structure our communication so that they are able to relate what we are able to see. But like what Vasu is saying, please structure it. Okay, it always helps. Okay, and learn it earlier, because your application of mind will be sharper when you structure it, because you know that this topic I'm talking, so then you drill down. The second point is this topic I'm talking, then you drill down. It becomes very simple and easy to take it forward, actually.
That's great takeaway for all of us. Now let's explore our final question, focusing on a crucial aspect of career growth. So, how do internships and real-world experiences contribute to building a strong career foundation for MBA students?
Yeah, Vasu, I think you touched
Okay.
upon it. You can touch a little more
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Obviously, it's a big opportunity between now and you complete your course in the next 18 months. There is going to be plenty of opportunity for you to come across, be it the case study that you go through in the book, or when you really go for your internship. And not just internship as summer internship for 2 months, you get short projects, you get weekend projects. Please look for it. Don't hesitate. If you are in Trichy, if in Trichy or in Madurai or the nearby districts, during a weekend, can I get a project? Can I go and learn something? Because you will meet variety of people. For example, a premium clothing, how does it, how are they selling versus, let's say, a regional brand, how have they built? So you have a plenty of opportunity, first of all, to learn a lot. One on the books, one on the actual experience of a weekend, weekend or during your holidays, just not the summer interns, as I said. You will look for those opportunities. All of you are in LinkedIn. All of you get to listen to people like me or Shivat, so that you have an opportunity to write to them. Can I take a short project? This was not there when we started our career. There was no LinkedIn. There is no way we will be able to write to anyone to ask for such kind of an experience. So look for that. Similarly, when you are going in for the summer internship, even before that, when you are sitting in for, don't have that pressure on you. Firstly, all of you have that relaxed mindset, because you are one of the best. That's why you are in this campus. You are bound to clear. So therefore, set aside any pressure that you may come across when you are going to sit through for the summer internship. Whatever project that comes, do it, because companies typically want experience of people like you. I always quote this example. I'll give only two examples with my own. One, I keep saying this in very many forums, how a typically summer internship program helped companies to really have a breakthrough consumer promotion or a trade promotion. One was that, um, as a school going student, if you were chewing bubble gum or chewing gum, you would have had tattoos. Typically, the tattoos are put on the hand or wherever you want. But somebody came but said, a student of your type, almost 8 to 10 years ago, who said, look, the regular or conventional tattoos are boring for kids. Why don't you think something different? So the person came and suggested that it glows in the dark. I give this example because obviously when it is dark, the kids have the tendency of switch off the light and then show, then the tattoo glows on the hand or face or wherever they put it, was one. And mind you, this had come from summer internship program. Second, we talked about the payment, digital payment. Mind you, today it is a lot more evolved. You have the QR code scanned. 10 years ago, somebody was telling how a QR code scanning can help in, reaching to the consumer who can actually, use the QR code. I'm telling this was in 2015, 16 for another consumer promotion product, who gave and said, use the QR code as a medium of reaching out to customers, because you'll also collect data. Because you are using the QR code, you will make it a mandatory one to share the phone numbers. It gives you the advantage of capturing the data. Then you start communicating. Today, content, digital, it's very, geography specific, targeted group specific and whatnot. But these two had actually come from, I have many more to quote, but for want of time, I'm not dragging it on. But I'd come from people or students like you who came and suggested. So when you go there over the next 18 months, including your own summer internship program, learn a lot. This is going to help you, just not when you complete the course or when you go and get placed, but when you become, as the journey starts, it's going to be a lot more insightful. Use these contacts, use your time to learn. take live projects. There can be weekend projects. There can be a short project for 3 days, or it can be for a week. Ask for this. Today, there are platforms. Companies are very keen, because I said at the beginning, so did Srivatsov, that you people have you are in the Premier Institute, you have the capability to do it, you have the appetite, most importantly, to learn. So do that over the next 18 months, and thereafter, there's no looking back.
I just have two things to add to what Vasu said. Okay, in my life, over the period of time, I have seen students coming in for internship, and I found that there are two types of students who come. One is the set of students who come saying that, boss, this is something as a part of my curriculum I have to do. Okay, I need one certificate, and then I will go and submit it to the college. Okay, and I will complete my course. You need to be very clear whether you want to do that. Okay, there are a lot of opportunities for you to learn. There are a lot of opportunities for you to put in your talent in. Like what Vasu was saying, that there is an opportunity for companies are quite open. If the ideas that you guys are suggesting on the project is good, there are times where people have actually taken forward those ideas. Now you should also be I'm not going to put you under pressure, but there is something known as a PPO. Okay, companies looking forward to, a lot of companies today are looking forward to actually giving offers during the internship itself. What are they looking at? They're looking at whether this guy has got the ability to adapt, whether he's able to think, whether is like was very serious. Okay, has he applied himself? Has he worked well with his mentor and coach? So why not? Yeah, I mean, why not take that opportunity? Increasingly, I'm looking at companies who are willing to give that PPO, and imagine that if you are actually going into a good company for an internship and you're getting a PPO, why not? This is something which is very important. And the last thing that I would like to sign off with all of you is that be proud of yourself here. I don't think we are taught to do that actually. Okay. We talk about so many other people. Have you ever spoken about yourself? Have you ever spoken about how good you are? And let me, I'm not being shy in saying that I am the executive vice president sales of JSW because I am good. There's no doubt about it. If I am not good, I will not be the executive vice president of JSW. Just imagine when I say that, there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of confidence that comes out within me. Okay, why will this company continue to have me as executive vice president of JSW Paints? Because I'm good. Why are you in IIM Trichy? Because you're good. Say that at least once every day. I'm just sharing this with you. The amount of confidence that you will build. There is no need, today in this world of approvals. Why do you need approval from anyone? Okay, you don't need approval from anyone. You are good. You're clear in terms of what you want to do. You're working hard on those areas. You got a lot of perspective today. Work on these. There is no reason why you can't be better than what you are. That's where I want to sign off. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Uh, I hope we have covered some great insights today. And if we have time and you permit me, can we open the floor for a few questions from the
Absolutely.
audience?
No issues. I have time. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the students will be putting the questions in the chat box.
of course.
So Aman, if you can read it from the chat box, then Vasu or I will take
All
charge.
right. Yeah, of course. Sure.
This happens in organization. No, it happens in organization. Like when we have an open house, the company always says, for the first question, we'll give you some reward. Only then it kicks in. Okay, there is no reward. The reward will be
preempt. Sorry, I can preempt that if there is no question, which I'm sure many of you have. I can tell you
we have covered almost.
So one question has come, Vasu. How do you think one should approach choosing a mentor? I gave an answer for this. I don't know if anybody remembers. Anybody remembers on this? I gave you one answer. There will be many others.
So we have another question. What did you mean by weekend projects, and what kind of projects can we go for? What are some that you have gone for?
Okay, so the first
Okay,
question
for
I'll answer.
example.
The second one, Vasu
Yeah,
will
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
See, in terms of choosing a mentor, no, actually there is no right answer or no wrong answer. How did I go about choosing my mentor? I looked at some people who I thought were the best in the field, and then approached them. And let me tell you that when you approach somebody for wanting to for I mean requesting them for mentorship or coaching, they will do it. The second thing is that you can do is that you can actually ask your professor, whichever professors, you can ask them that, boss, sir, I want some mentorship. Can you suggest somebody? I mean, they are quite well networked. They will actually give you. Okay, so I think these are different ways by which sometimes you will find in your own circle. Okay, there can be some uncle who is also like in a corporate world or something. But the good news is that whoever you approach, you need to be very clear that you have to be open. This mentorship and coaching will not have work if you're not very open. You should be able to bear yourself, which is not going to be easy. You will not be able to bear yourself with everyone. So choose the person where you think that you will be comfortable with, because unless you talk the truth, that mentorship and coaching cannot happen actually. So be clear on this particular. Over to you for the next question. So about the projects actually.
Yeah. All of you are sitting in Trichy, and I don't know how many of you are aware of the fact that there is a Lion Dates brand of, it's a date. The dates brand is Lion. It originates from Trichy. The founder of the company would never speak English, could never speak English, took someone's help to go to overseas in Europe to understand the dates manufacturing process to make it a big brand. It's maybe 1,000 crore brand. So you can always write to them, thanks to your placement committee or team, that firstly, would you want to understand what is the success story? And secondly, can you suggest that today we are all health conscious, right? Dry fruits includes dates. So can you take up a project for date for this company? Say that you, as IIM first year students in Trichy, would like to do a study of your current product profile, and also would like to recommend, for example, can I have something on just not on dates, but can I have on other dry fruits? Is dry fruits a commodity, or can I make dry fruits a better brand? Is one example. Second example, I'm sure all of you are young, you have been attending some of the marriages in the family and whatnot. It has become a tradition that, wearing a typical, Indian attire in a wedding is very common. Ramraj is a brand which is available in Chennai. So is there a way that I can approach Ramraj, who are very good at making the dhotis and the white shirts and whatnot? Can I ask them to get it extended to an equivalent of North India? Manyavar is a brand which anyone and everyone would know, I'm sure. If you are attending to any of the wedding receptions, typically that's the attire. Is that an opportunity for me to go and look at it? Or there are very many more companies. So you need to identify, right to those companies, are there opportunities? It could be for premium. For example, you have the premium ladies bag. For example, Aldo is a brand. Thanksgiving Friday, therefore 50% off. Every channel you would have seen Aldo brand getting advertised. So is there a way that I'll be able to do a project on that? You need to write that. These projects typically would not take much of time. What will you do in that? What is the purchase? What is the consumer behavior as an individual walks into a store? Premier clothing. For example, you go to a mall. If you have a mall, can I have the study with a couple of companies as to how the profiling of customer takes place? When they walk in, what do they look at? What is it, the price point? Is it the quality? What kind of age group are they coming? Does it not give me some kind of an insight? If I want to advertise, do I advertise on digital? Do I advertise, let's say, on any other channel? Is there a targeted group of people to whom I can reach a lot more easily, rather than reaching pan India, try to advertise? So you can do that. So some of these I'm just suggesting, because when I said that is IIM Trichy, the first thing that came to my mind is the success story of line dates. They're just a commodity. Dates is a commodity, but they have made a brand out of it. Can you recommend even bigger ones for them? Maybe that's a weekend project for you. With Christmas and New Year coming in, you can think of a similar project. You can write to companies, including Mr. Srivastav, and ask whether you would like to do what is Nippon Paints versus JCW, JSWs. If you can always do that. So there are enough and more. So you can feel free to. That's the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Do we have any other questions, or can we just log off?
Yeah. We can feel free to write to us, write to you as in Bejobbed and your team of people. So we can always answer
See, the
those.
world is connected. World is connected. Vasu's available on LinkedIn. I am available on LinkedIn, and surely I think if you want to speak in the LinkedIn, you can put your number. I can connect with you all. Not an issue at all. I think too happy to connect with you all.
I think that's the right word. Sales HR roles are pivotal for driving organizational success. What are the leadership team's expectations from sales HR professional, and how can first year HR students effectively prepare to meet these demands? I think that's the question. Firstly, in your mind, be clear. All of us are finally human beings, so HR is inevitable, but have to be there at all times to have the handholding of every individual in the organization. That's one. As you are in the as you are in the journey of learning in the first year and second year, you don't have to compartmentalize yourself from HR perspective. Be open to learn more than just HR. I'm sure that's going to be your specialization, but be open to more than just HR, because that's again an opportunity. Once into the organization, you want to be a little more function specific, then you get deep insights into it. So when you asked, sales HR roles are pivotal in driving organizational success. No doubt about it. Not just sales HR. HR is very important. They take care of people. I'm sure all of you must have read that the environment today for gender neutral policies are designed to be a lot more gender neutral, are obviously recommended by HR. Thanks to COVID, nobody believed that work from home was possible. Every company believes that work from home is possible, though it has been enabled by technology. But always mind that HR understands people, therefore it continues to be there. So you don't have to necessarily look at your or restrict your thought process, whoever has asked this question, only to from HR compartment. You can look at it a lot more. But of course, somebody like Shivatsan can answer because he is there in the system. But I would only advise, don't compartmentalize to HR, have a lot more openness.
Yeah, so I think each function is very important. Okay, and coming to the human resource part, like what Vasu is saying, it's very, very important part of the thing. Again, in HR, there are many things which are there. There is recruitment, which is there. There is learning and development, which is there. Okay, there is training is there. Okay, there are many different parts of it, but HR is a very, very important thing. And you will be working with closely with all the functional heads. Okay, there is a lot of work that you will do with the culture of the organization. Bringing about various events. You will be working with. It's important to actually understand what kind of people are required for the organization, what different skill sets. So it's a very interesting one, and HR is the backbone, I would say, actually, because it's one of those. See, everything is a support. For finally at the end of the day, the front end is sales. Okay, company has to perform, the sales guys have to sell, but everybody else is a support. Marketing is a support for sales. HR is a support for sales. IT is a support for sales. Unless all of this, it's like the sales guy is as I put it, like the film actor, right? Okay, now everything has to come in place for him. The story has to come, the songs have to come, the screenplay, direction, everything has to come. But there is a huge amount of work which the back end people do. Only then the hero will prevail. Actually, otherwise, however good the hero is, if those things don't happen, it doesn't happen. So just go with this perspective. But HR is again one of the most important perfection. I'm just saying that everything is important if you look at holistically. HR is something which if you like HR and you want to get into it, it's a very important cog in the entire wheel, actually.
Yeah. So I hope we have covered everything important and
There's
addressed your
one question, how
questions.
to tackle placement interviews, and we should be our mindset approach while preparing for them and also tackling the situation based questions. What are the factors for the recruiter looks at while answering? Firstly, again, you are in the Premier Institute, you are one of the best. Every day say it once is what Shivas have told you. Obviously, companies are there coming not just to pick up the top 3, top 5. All of you are going to get placed. I'm sure over the last 3, 4, 5 years, all the students of this prestigious alumni have obviously been placed. Importantly, relax. Don't take it very serious. Be prepared. Prepare the best, relax the most. I'm sure you will be. What is the typical question? What do they know about you? Somebody is on screen. Hey, Vasu, tell me about yourself. Is all I can say. Vasu knows more than anyone about Vasu. So on the day of interview, somebody is asking if you want to say in 30 seconds who is Vasu. Only Vasu knows about himself better. So therefore, this is one question. What is your interest? What is the movie you have seen? Which sports do you interested? What are the other questions that are likely to come? It's like the way you are talking to your friends. Important to remember what Srivatsan said in this, the communication. How good am I in making that point? If somebody is asking Vasu, who are you? I can say it in 30 seconds. I can say it in maybe 3 minutes. But if it is 3 minutes, people may not be interested. If it is 30 seconds, I'm able to arouse this interest, people will listen to it. So therefore, nothing that's going to be out of syllabus question, because nobody knows you. You know you only you know yourself the best. So therefore, the kind of questions will come. Why do you think you are suited for this? I mean, these are all very, very standard. I'm sure there are enough and more, talent in the placement team to prepare you and place you very nicely, whether it is in the day 0 or 1 or 2. But most important, do not take pressure. Be prepared. Get the best of preparation of self and try to take it light. Don't take it so serious. Don't get attached. Okay? Mentally be relaxed, but be prepared. Shivaji, if you want to add anything that I
Yeah,
missed.
so I just want to take it from Vasu that you can be only yourself, right? I mean, you can't be anybody else. Okay, you can talk about yourself. You can talk about what you have done, what your interests are. But the most important thing again, boss, I mean, see, each company is looking at something. Okay, so if you are not got into a particular company, it is not rejection. I want you all to get this. It is not rejection. Okay, companies. It's like all of you have seen IPL auction, right? Okay. Now all those players are very good. Some of them did not get a chance, and some people went into lower either a lower auction amount or higher auction amount. They were all very skilled. They were all very good. But each of these teams were looking at a particular kind of skill, or they were looking at particular kind of mindset. That's how they select actually. Okay, they come prepared. When we go to the institute, we are very clear what kind of student that we want, what kind of interest will fit into us, because we are building a team also. So I want you all to be a little open there, in the sense that don't look at any of those as rejections. Sometimes I hear that, okay, that's a company that I want, I didn't get selected, he got selected. All those, don't get into it. Okay, be yourself. Like what Vasu was saying, be clear in your communication. See, whatever you say now, you need to be ensuring that it has to land properly to the other person. That's all you should do, and that's all you should worry about. Nothing else. Selection is not in your hands. What is controllable? What is not controllable? What is controllable is what you can do. What is not controllable is the selection. Selection is somebody else is doing. You are not in control of that selection actually. So please don't stress.
And Shivaji will also say that the stress for the people who come there to interview and select is also a stress, because if everyone is good, then how do we select?
Absolutely. So there is Vasu, that's very interesting. They always say, okay, now when you see, in when you go into IIMs, it is elimination process, right? They're now putting all kinds of the filters to eliminate, because they only 150 seats, so they have to eliminate. When you talk about placements, it is like they are looking at reasons to select you. Get this distinction. They're looking at reasons to select you. When I go to a campus interview, I'm looking for reasons to select somebody. I'm not doing reasons to reject. I'm looking at reasons to select, because if I get 4, it's good for me. Sometimes the companies say, "Arey, I wanted 4, but I got only 2." Please give them reasons to select you, and this puts you in a very different zone. Very different zone. You have to give them reasons to select you actually.
Yeah. So do we have any questions?
Not on the chat box.
I
As
think
we said, the people can freely approach us. We are here to more than happy to do that.
So
thank you very much. I think it was I would say that it was time well spent. Okay, for me, it was time well spent. And the questions were very interesting. And I always love to partner with Vasu, because, there is a good jewel bandi that we do with each other. And Aman, thank you for for facilitating this. I think you are leading it quite well, and thank you for everyone for being attentive, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks to the placement team and the institute. I'm based out of Chennai. I'm sure, Shivatsa, you are based out of Bangalore or Bombay?
No, I am based out of Bombay.
Bombay. Okay. I am now back to Chennai. So I'm also available if people, physically at least not too far away. Feel free to reach us out. We are more than happy to, to give the kind of support that we can give to see that this set of people become another Shivatsa, to be a senior vice president or executive vice president in companies like in the years ahead. Happy evening and best wishes. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sivasan and Mr. Vasu sir, for sharing your valuable insights and experiences. Your guidance has been truly enlightening and will help students set their career goals and create successful roadmap for the future. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you found the session very inspiring and stay connected with the Bejobbed and our speakers for more opportunities to learn and grow. Have a wonderful day. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, sir. It was a highly insightful session, and it also helped the students to get an overview of it.
Thanks.
Thank you.